Hello friends, welcome once again to our online fertility awareness program, You and Your Fertility. If you remember, this edition is titled The Fertility Diet. This is episode 3. Thank you for coming back to viewers. If this is your first episode joining us, you have not missed so much. In the first episode, we talked about the fertility diet in general, what you should eat and what you should avoid generally when you are on your fertility journey. In the second episode, we talked about foods that specifically improve quality of gametes. So we're talking about the egg quality and the sperm quality. That's what we talked about in the second episode. Today we have another very interesting topic that focuses on foods that deals on a particular aspect of fertility health, which a lot of people will be interested in. What is it? Stay with us to find out. So today, our almighty topic is on foods that regulate hormonal balance. Foods that regulate hormonal balance. So, hormonal balance is one of the key or crucial factors that affect fertility health. If you look at 10 to 20 women, you get a good number that are suffering from hormonal troubles, hormonal imbalance, hormonal instability, one hormone issue or the other. And it doesn't even stop with the women, it also affects men. So how can we naturally, with diet, improve on our hormones? That is what the focus of today's topic is on. Now, it's important to know that about 25% of infertility cases are due to hormonal imbalance. That's a huge number. So if you look properly close by where infertility is lurking, some level of hormonal imbalance is somewhere in the picture. What exactly is hormonal imbalance? Hormonal imbalance is when the body is not producing adequate amount of hormones to regulate reproductive functions. Before we continue with this, we need to understand first of all that the body produces about 50 hormones in general, and these hormones are responsible for functions like metabolism, reproductive functions. Of course, we have regulation of stress also as part of hormonal function. So these are the things in general that these 50 hormones regulate and control. Hormones themselves are chemical messengers that are produced in the body and impact on mental, physical, and the emotional well-being of a person. So they regulate functions. We said they regulate metabolism. So functions like weight gain, appetite. When talking about metabolism, we are looking at functions like weight gain, your appetite, movement, and mood swings generally. That's the metabolic functions for hormones. Then we look at the reproductive function for hormones, which, talking about reproductive functions, we are looking at production of reproductive hormones like your estrogen, testosterone, follicle stimulating hormone, and the rest of it, and regulation of their function. So those are the reproductive functions of hormones. Then we have management of stress in the entire system as well as part of hormonal functions. So we've said that there are generally about 50 hormones in the body. To be able to naturally regulate them, there are certain practices that we must indulge in to help our hormones stay balanced. And they involve our diet, they involve our lifestyle, and generally exercising. These three will help to generally regulate the body's production of hormones and regulate their activities. But today we are focusing just on diet. So we want to look at how you can use foods to better regulate your body's production and processing of hormones. Stay with us. Now, before we talk about the individual foods that can help in regulating these hormones, how do you even know when you have hormonal imbalance? It's not routinely that you just go to the lab and check your hormones. No, there are some symptoms that your body will give you to help you start thinking that probably you are suffering from some level of hormonal imbalance. Common ones are excessive tiredness, excessive weight gain, even when you think you're not even eating so much, insomnia, that is inability to sleep properly, and then some skin changes like unusual dry brittle hair, unusual pimples, acne pimples popping up around your face. These are things that will make you start thinking towards the possibility of you suffering from hormonal imbalance. Well, aside from exercise, diet, age is another thing that impacts on hormonal levels. The higher a person's age, the more there is a decline in the functioning of the hormones. So for you to regulate those hormones, the higher you get in age, the more you should be specific about those things that can help you regulate your hormones. The more you should be specific about your diet. It can help you control hormonal abnormalities with increase in age. The more you should be specific about your lifestyle. Take rest very seriously. The more you should be specific about exercising, because it is generally known that sedentary lifestyle helps to worsen hormonal imbalance, while a life of activity helps to better regulate it. So we'll dive directly into the foods. Generally, it is known that the Western diet helps or facilitates hormonal imbalance. It's what I mean by facilitate, that is, it worsens the situation of hormonal imbalance. It helps to cause a disarray amongst the hormones, as against the Mediterranean diet. And so we'll be looking at this thing specifically now. So finally, we are delving into foods. What are these foods that can help you regulate the hormones? The first class of food we want to talk about are proteins. Proteins in general. Proteins help with the production or supplying of the body with amino acids. Amino acids are those building blocks that are used in producing a majority of the hormones. Amino acids are those essential proteins that the body cannot produce, but which we can gain, that the body cannot produce, but which we can get from food. So when we consume high level of proteins, our bodies are able to get these amino acids, specifically the ones that can produce peptides, and then these ones are further used for producing hormones in the system. So if your body, or if your diet rather, is bereft of proteins, the body will not have the building blocks. Remember what we talked about last week. Building blocks, what you supply your body to function with, to build with, is what it has. So we are saying today that proteins will produce or provide the body with amino acids, which are essential building blocks for the production of all manners of proteins, and specifically for reproductive health hormones, all manner of hormones, and specifically the reproductive health hormones. It is recommended that we take up to 30 grams of proteins for every meal, every food you consume. So you are looking at proteins like lentils, you are looking at proteins like eggs, you're looking at proteins like fish, and you're looking at proteins like chicken when you're talking about animal protein. You're looking at proteins like chicken. If you can add this to every of your meal, you'll be getting up to 30 grams in every meal. Your body will be getting sufficient amount of proteins to use in producing the hormones. The second food we want to focus on are healthy fats. Healthy fats, we mentioned some of them last week, are the essential fatty acids which we can consume, and these can help in building hormones. These fatty acids are like your high-density lipoproteins or your middle-chain triglycerides, which are contained in certain foods. When you consume this particular type of fat, the body is not able to store them in the fat cells. Okay, they are quickly taken up by the liver and used for the production of energy that is necessary for cellular function and activities, and one of such things is the production of hormones. We all know that the liver is one of the organs that also help in production and regulation of hormones. So these essential fatty acids, or these healthy fats, are easily taken up by the liver cells and used for the production of hormones, and used for the production of metabolic processes in the body, one of which is hormonal regulation as well. So this will also help to balance out hormones. So what are examples of this your healthy fat? You have your nuts like your hazelnut, your cashew nut, your peanut. You also have avocado. You also have your fatty fish, okay? Then you have your oils like the flaxseed oil, your olive oil, your coconut oil, sunflower oil. These are oils that you can use in replacing your just general, what we call a normal vegetable oil. If you can focus on using these particular oils, they will produce the body with high density lipoproteins or middle chain triglycerides, which the body can use for cellular functions, one of which is production and regulation of hormones. Another interesting thing that these healthy fats do is that they reduce the level of inflammation in cells. So last week we were talking about antioxidants and oxidative stress. Part of the things that oxidative stress can do, we were saying, is damaging cells due to high level of inflammation ongoing in the cells. So one of the things that these foods, these healthy fats can do is to reduce inflammation, generally improve cell health and their function, of which part of it is production of hormones. Another class of food we want to talk about is the actual Mediterranean diet we mentioned earlier. When you're talking about Mediterranean diet, we are talking about our seeds and our whole grains. So we are looking at grains, seeds, legumes. Then we are looking at cruciferous vegetables like your broccoli, your cauliflower, your cabbage, radish, kale. These are the vegetables and grains and seeds that constitute the Mediterranean diet. What does this do? They help to reduce or regulate general estrogen level in the system. One of the why this is opposite to the Western diet is that Western diet increases the level of estrogen in the system, thereby automatically causing hormonal imbalance. But this Mediterranean diet, with these that I have mentioned, reduce or modulate the level of estrogen in the system, which can also help to regulate weight gain, because we have thought sometime that high level of estrogen can also attribute to increase in weight gain. So modulating estrogen levels in the system can automatically modulate weight gain or modulate obesity, which generally improves hormonal function and hormonal balance in the system. So the release of carbohydrates into the system helps to regulate insulin function, which generally reduces metabolism of carbohydrates and storage of excess carbohydrates as fat. So once this is done, the whole grains being consumed reduces the amount of carbs the body is absorbing, which the body can store extra as fat, and then generally messing up the hormonal balance. So whole grains, in addition to or as part of the Mediterranean diet, helps in the regulation of hormonal function. We want to look at magnesium containing food. Magnesium is one of the essential minerals that is necessary in the production of hormones. So you are looking at your foods like your dark leafy vegetables, your nuts, your whole grains, things like quinoa. These are very rich in magnesium and can be used also for production of hormones by the body. Probiotics. Probiotics are another class of foods that, their main function is to help improve gut flora. And improvement in gut flora helps in the regulation of a lot of metabolic processes in the body, which includes hormonal regulation and hormone production. So just flourishing, improving in the gut flora helps automatically in improving hormonal balance and hormonal regulation in the system. Then we want to look at fibers, foods that contain high level of fibers. Generally, high fiber containing foods help to improve or increase the sensitivity of insulin. And once insulin sensitivity is increased, it helps in faster uptake of carbohydrates, burning them into energy and producing or supplying this energy for cellular function, some of which or part of which is hormone regulation and hormone production. So you find out that consuming high level of fiber containing foods will automatically help the body to regulate carbohydrates, produce more energy, provide the cells with this energy, and help them in their cellular function, part of which is hormonal regulation and hormonal balance. Finally, rule of thumb, let your plate be as colorful as possible. If you have more colors on your plate, what we call a rainbow diet, then you are likely to be getting more of the things that you need to regulate or produce hormones. What can give you a colorful plate? Lots of vegetables, lots of greens, lots of different classes of foods, whole grains, your different colors of veggies. You have reds, yellow, of course we are already used to green. The more colors you have on your plate, the more likely you are getting more nutrients supplied to your body to help in the regulation of hormones in the system. Finally, teas. Please, one of the things that you must have as part of your diet to help you regulate your hormones are your herbal teas. Ginger tea, lemon tea, turmeric in your tea, any of them that you can lay your hands on will also help in balancing your hormones. Now finally, it's been said that flaxseed helps to generally regulate hormones. So just taking 2 tablespoons of grounded flax seeds in warm water and drinking can generally help in hormonal regulation. So if you know that you are suffering specifically from any type of hormonal imbalance, flaxseed, grounded flaxseed in warm water you drink every day can help the body in regulating the hormones. So this is where I'll be stopping on today's episode. We hope you have learned something. Remember, learn to teach others. If this is your first time of viewing any of our videos, please note that Love Foundation is a fertility support organization, and we are involved in helping every couple achieve their fertility goals. This we do through our various activities, like our fertility counseling program, where we coach and work with couples towards achieving their fertility goal, helping them every step of the way on their fertility journey. We also provide advanced fertility solutions, like people who want to go through the assisted reproductive technology routes, your IVF, third-party cycles, IUI. We provide good resources and referrals for such services. And those who are looking for advanced solutions like surrogacy, adoption, we also provide consultancy services for couples who would like to go through that route. You can follow us on all our social media handles.